Hi everybody, welcome to the next edition of the Family Peace Initiatives Facilitators Tool Chest vlog. And apparently I've started a trend because last time we were privileged to have Daniel Adams visit with us, a first guest appearance on the Facilitators Tool Chest vlog, and then this time we have another amazing guest, Paul Bellan-Boyer, with us to just spend some time talking about some ideas. Paul came in and co-facilitated our Art of Facilitation here, the first in-person Art of Facilitation that we've done in-house here since COVID. And it was such a great experience having everybody back together in person, connecting the way we do. And Paul, it was so cool to have you be a part of that. Thank you for being here.
Well, it was really great to be here, and I'm glad for the invitation and the experience.
Yeah. Well, what we talked about for the topic for today was to talk about kind of getting a program going. And you really started, what was it, 2019, 2020 when you...
We started understanding what kind of program we might run in 2019, and we're going to launch in March of 2020, and something happened, which gave us the opportunity to think more deeply, and we eventually started our first group in December of 2020.
December 2020, and so the first group starts then, and since then you've developed a program with how many groups and how many staff? I mean, you really
We've got nine groups, men and women, English and Spanish, and it's gone amazingly well, much better than I would have thought. And there are some key elements to that which I'm very, very thankful for, and that's what I wanted to share today.
Yeah, well, I tell you, Dorothy and I have been working on building our program since like 1990. And the idea to have accomplished what you have done in 2 short years or 2.5 years is just striking to us, because it's, most programs build very slowly, a lot of, moving forward, moving backwards. And you guys have really done an amazing job out there. It's been fun to watch.
Well, thanks, but we could not have done it pre-COVID, because COVID and the world moving online gave us access to resources that would have been just harder to get any other way. And we were very fortunate in that respect.
Well, speaking of that, COVID and our training moving to Zoom and online really gave you were able to find us. And when you came to explore what we're doing, our trainings, the things that we're trying to promote and teach to people, can you talk a little bit about what brought you here and what you found when you got involved here?
Well, it's really very simple. We were struggling, and we needed help growing as facilitators. At the time, it was me and my colleague working for the same organization, and somebody pointed us to the Art of Facilitation training as a general facilitation training, and we came, and there are some things which kind of immediately spoke to us and said, this fits better with our understanding of the change process and an understanding of how we can work with people. It takes an awful lot of skill to do facilitation well, and we were not there when we started, but we saw in the trauma-focused approach a way to more quickly get to the places we needed to go as facilitators and help our participants get to the places they needed to go in order to grow.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because it's not just a trauma responsive approach, but there are some very specific things that we're trying to help facilitators take away and apply in their own work. What were the skills the tools that stand out to you that made the difference or made a difference for you?
Well, they all kind of fit under the framework of an inner focused dialogue or conversation, moving away from what my partner did to me which made me angry or made me violent, or all of the various ways in which I am blaming someone else for my stuff.
Or justifying.
Or justifying my cruelty. And four things in particular: the emotional awareness, the mad, sad, glad, and afraid. And for those like myself that grew up without much vocabulary, I mean, I knew all the words, but actually recognizing when I was mad, sad, glad, and afraid, and being able to admit that to myself and to others, that was big. There's also the funnel technique, which is a way that you can help people quickly engage in their own inner focus dialogue. You can help people move from focus on others and focus on the external environment to what's going on right here. Then there are the two messages: the shadow message, the adverse message about ourselves, which we typically acquire early in life, and it sticks with us because we're afraid that it might be true. And then the antidote, which is kind of the golden message, which we get from an enlightened witness, someone who just has that unconditional regard for us, who's always on our side, who sees us in our very best light, the enlightened part of the witness, and gives it back to us, the witness part.
Yeah, and so what I like about those tools is that they help people access their own story and potentially find evidence for their golden shadow message or their shadow message inside of their own story. So we're not really asking people to say what we want to hear, but we are asking people to work towards speaking from that internal focused place so that they can discover the parts of their story that can help invite and create transformational change.
Yeah, there is something we want to hear. As a facilitator, I want to hear you. I don't need to hear more of me. I don't need to hear specific things from you. I want you to access that kind of authentic self, which is going to help you in your life, which is going to help you relate to others, which is going to help you become less violent, nonviolent, non-abusive. And what really grabbed us is the fact that these four things I mentioned are vital tools, but they're basic, and they can be quickly and easily taught and learned so that we can more quickly and easily gain a basic competence and also do the same for the people we work with. It's the royal road to trauma, to a true version of self, and curiously enough, also to personal accountability. It helps us get where we need to go without a lot of distractions along the way.
Yeah. Paul, can I ask you, when you went back after learning some of these skills, what was it like to plug them into the work that you were doing, to use the funnel or the mad, sad, glad, and afraid or the shadow messages? How did it go for you? What was the learning curve like to arrive at competent application?
Well, Steve, it's not like flipping a light switch.
Not that easy.
Because it's what kind of every program and skilled facilitator always says: you have to do the personal work. In this case, the personal work becomes easier because there are ways. This is a non-coercive approach. Yeah. You're always asking permission. You're never asking people to go places they're unwilling to, but you're helping illustrate that the road is not as hard as they think it might be. In fact, ultimately, people see that the road is a whole lot smoother than the path they've been following of minimizing, denying, blaming, and
Well, it's been such a treat to be involved with watching the program, your staff grow and develop skill. And the idea that you were able to come out here and contribute to the training and be a part of that and begin to lead and facilitate other professionals learning these skills, it's just such a blessing for us. And thank you for being here.
Well, and Steve, I'll say it's amazing to me because I would not have thought I could get there this quickly. I had clinical skills, I have people skills, but this is the key that unlocked the door not only to my growth, but it's the one that I knew we were much better able to pass on to other people. That includes our facilitators, and then obviously the people we work with, because we're not, we have to practice what we preach, and that's visible in the group room, and that helps others take these same steps for themselves. And it's really been amazing to be part of that for so many men and women.
Paul, I know that we could talk about this topic for some time. I know we both have a lot of passion about intervening with domestic violence and creating more safe families. But we're going to have to wind it down for this moment. Maybe we could do a part 2 or a part 3 down the road. And I hope that you know that you're always welcome to come back and be a part of what we're doing whenever that opportunity arises.
I do. I love the work. I love this, and thank you for tuning in.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and we'll see you hopefully next month with another Facilitators Tool Chest blog.